Welcome to Customer Service 101. This is Mommy Jacqui, and I'm very happy to have you on board. Let's start with module number 1 about you. First up, we'll talk about language proficiency, and we will have an introduction to accent neutralization training. So now let's talk about the objectives of this training. First, we need to know and define the word accent. Second, to be able to understand the importance of learning the American accent. Third, to realize the rationale behind adapting the Midwestern accent. Fourth, to know and understand the importance of learning the American accent in the job. Lastly, to be able to speak the English language in a confident way. Now let's talk about what accent means. From Wikipedia, it says an accent is a manner of pronunciation peculiar to a particular individual, location, or nation. An accent may be identified with the locality in which its speaker reside, for example, a regional or a geographical accent. It may also be about the socio-economic status of its speaker, their ethnicity, their caste or social class, like a social accent, or influence from their first language, which is basically a foreign accent. From Merriam-Webster Dictionary, it is pronounced accent and it functions as a noun. It says the first definition is it's a distinctive manner of expression as a or an individual's distinctive or characteristic inflection, tone, or choice of words. It may also be a way of speaking typical of a particular group of people and especially of the natives or residents of a region. So, what makes up accent? Accent is a combination of three main components, namely intonation or speech music, pronunciation or the spoken sounds of vowels, consonants, and their combinations, and lastly, but definitely not the least, and this is probably something new to you, is what we call liaisons or word connections. Now, don't worry. As we go along, you'll notice that you're being asked to look at accent in a different way. You'll also realize that the grammar you studied before and this accent you're studying now are completely different. More on what is accent? Part of the difference is that grammar and vocabulary are systematic and structured. It's basically the letter of the language. While accent, on the other hand, is free-form, intuitive, and creative. More the spirit of the language, as they say. So, thinking of music, feeling, and flow, let your mouth relax into the American accent. So, why do we need an American accent? Well, we mostly cater the American market. This means that we talk to Americans all across America. And don't get me wrong, Filipinos speak good English, but the accent is non standard to the American ear. The average American truly has a hard time understanding a non standard accent, pretty much just like us. Someone from the Visayas who speak in Tagalog will have a hard time understanding or communicating to someone who is from the Tagalog region and vice versa. Now, for Americans, any other pronunciation will always sound foreign, strange, wrong, or different to a native speaker. Now, we are all probably familiar with what we call Tagalog English. In grade school and high school, we learned the proper way to pronounce American English words. Take these examples. We were taught to pronounce emerald as emerald, comfortable as comfortable, and family as family. They're audibly correct to the Filipino ear. The vowels are there for a reason. And when we say them in a sentence, they can be clearly heard. This is what we call the Tagalog English accent. To Filipinos, this is how vowel sounds are enunciated. To Americans, We simply sound funny and very Asian. That is, choppy and or syllabicated. Now, we also have common Filipino errors in our daily conversations. For example, we say for a while, when a better way to say that should be, one moment, please. Or the direct translation of saying, did you drink your medicine? Should be, did you take your medicine? How about this? At the office, you say, she's my office mate. A better way of saying that should be, she's my colleague. And sometimes we say, I like all the furnitures in his house. The correct way of saying that should be, I liked all the furniture in his house. Or you say, stop joking me, when it should be, stop kidding around. Now let's move on to commonly mispronounced words. Now there are a lot of these words, but let me choose a few of these. Like we say bag, binoculars, Taurus. We say authorization. Or it sounds funny, but we sometimes say cemetery. Or maybe ceremony. Or maybe city. Or sometimes we say confirm. Or maybe category. And sometimes we even say bitch instead of beach. Now you can check out the dictionary for the correct pronunciation of each word, but don't worry because we'll have some lessons later on about these words, okay? Now let's move on to the standard American English. American dictionaries adopt the pronunciations used by most national radio and television broadcasters, often referred to as Broadcast Network Standard or BNS. It usually becomes the basis of standard American English. Now, although America has regional pronunciation differences, the accent that you will learn is that of standard American English, as spoken and understood by the majority of educated speakers in the US. You will then speak in a way that is most comfortable and familiar to majority of native speakers. Well, a new accent is definitely an adventure. So, be bold, exaggerate wildly. Don't worry that Americans and even your friends will laugh at you for putting on an accent. Trust me, they won't even notice. So, good luck with your new accent! So, let's start with an initial assessment. Are you ready to evaluate yourself? Don't worry, it won't be hard. Just be honest. Maraming salamat and thank you for watching this video. Move on to the next. Bye!